Everyone could make their way to their seats. We will be getting started pretty soon, a few more minutes. Welcome everyone, and thank you for coming. I'd like to introduce our interim principal, Miss Quinn.
Thank you. I'm going to do like the kids and read it off my phone. I feel like I'm high tech. Good afternoon and welcome to the Vineland High School's 150th anniversary celebration. My name, as Michaela just said, is Deborah Quinn, and I am the interim principal here at the VHS Asselta building. Today is a proud day for me personally, for I am a third-generation VHS graduate. My grandmother graduated in 1941 from what is now the Landis Administration Building. My father was a member of the first graduating class from this building in 1963. And then 20 years later, I graduated from this same building. Of course, my siblings all graduated from Vineland. And later, my daughter, an outstanding honors graduate of Vineland High School, class of 2008. Vineland High School's rich history is a source of pride in our community, and it is our hope today that you can learn and enjoy a little piece of it. After our ceremony, you'll be invited to walk the halls and see some of our displays of clubs, organizations, programs, showcasing our progress. Please make sure to stop and visit the Mr. Gerald Barry Conference Room, which is full of antiques and artifacts. Visit our Sports Hall of Fame, located in A-Wing, and make sure to check out the original bell rung during the dedication ceremony of our first high school on August 22nd, 1874. On behalf of the Vineland High School Historical Committee, I welcome you to this anniversary, and I'd like to acknowledge our distinguished guests with us on the stage today. Senator Testa, Senator Asselta, County Commissioner Victoria Lodes, Mayor Anthony Finucci, our Board of Ed President, Ms. Kim Cottaspati. We also have some board members in our audience. We have Mr. Eugene Medio, Mr. John Sabrana, and Mr. Rob Bono. Also with us, our Superintendent, Mr. Alfonso Llano. And a special guest, special to my family and my heart, out in the audience, we have Dr. Tom McCann. Tom, if you're out there, wave your, oh, he's sitting over there. Tom was instrumental in creating that artifact conference room that you will have a chance to take a look at. So thank you, Tom, for that. He's worked very diligently with this committee, and we really appreciate that. At this time, I'd like to bring up Mr. Mohan, who is the advisor for our historical committee.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for coming today. Before we start with our Pledge of Allegiance, I just want to ask a quick question. How many of you graduated Vineland High School? Wonderful. What I'd like you to do is take just one quick moment, and I want you to think of a teacher, guidance counselor, mentor, someone who had a great impact on your life. Just take a moment and think of that person right now. How wonderful it must be for that person to be here with us today in spirit, and that you allowed yourself to think of that person, and even though they're not physically with us, they are still here. And that's the beautiful thing about this school. We are here, but the people that have been going through our doors for the last 150 years have never left. They're always with us. We keep a memory of them. And one of the reasons why we have a ceremony like this is that you have 4 minutes to get to class. Okay, so, but we have this wonderful way of keeping our legacy and our history alive, and we take it with us wherever we go. So today, this ceremony is to honor our past, embrace our future, but to keep both going, and our historical committee does just that. You make the history, but we keep it alive. So I'm going to bring up Ms. Quinn.
Okay.
Yes.
At this time, if you could please rise if you're able. For our junior ROTC, they will present our colors. We will do the flag salute, followed by the national anthem sung by Abigail Berger.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A little change in our program. Abigail's going to sing the national anthem, followed by our alma mater. Please join in if you know the words.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Though the boys of Millville High School love the orange and the blue, and the sturdy sons of Bridgeton to the red and white are true, we will cheer for dear old Vineland, the school we love foray, for all her sons are loyal to her colors red and gray.
You may be seated.
Thank you, Abigail. I'd like to introduce our first guest speaker, our superintendent, Mr. Yano.
Thank you. Good afternoon, colleagues, Board of Education members, and esteemed guests. I am Superintendent Alfonso Yano, and I'm pleased and honored to greet you this afternoon as we celebrate the one and only Vineland High School. From the beginning of my time here in Vineland, one thing was abundantly clear. This city and school district prides itself on history, tradition, and the values of education. As Mr. Mohan and members of the Historical Society, the Historical Committee, have said many times, Vineland High School is more than just a building. It is a living, breathing institution that unites this city. It is a testament to the hard work, dedication, and the enduring legacy of generations of families, and most importantly, it serves as the hallmark of education here in Vineland. VHS is not just an educational institution. It reflects who we are as a community. It demonstrates our resilience, our commitment to each other and our children, and the power of education. As our motto states, enter to learn, go forth to serve. As you, your children, and generations before you have entered. It is a testament to the enduring legacy of VHS that you have gone on to serve and are sitting here today. As we look to the future, let's remember these values that have guided us over the last 150 years. Let's continue to support and cherish the school that has given so much to us. And let us strive to ensure that VHS remains the ray of light that continues to provide hope and opportunity to those who come after us. Thank you for being here today and for your continued support of our school system and all of our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yano. I'd now like to introduce our Board of Ed President, Ms. Kim Kadaspati.
Good afternoon to all of our esteemed guests, and welcome to Vineland High School's 150th anniversary celebration. On behalf of the Vineland Board of Education, it is an honor to speak to you all on this momentous occasion. For a century and a half, Vineland High School has shaped the minds and hearts of generations of Vineland families. A school that began as small classrooms and a public speaking hall has now expanded to the thriving campus we have today. Despite the changes and growth over the years, one thing has remained constant: our commitment to excellence and dedication to each and every student. Our celebration today is not just about the history of Vineland High School, it's about looking into the future. While we celebrate the legacy of the students, educators, and the other influential individuals who shaped our school, we also look forward to the future and the many lasting memories to come. We commit ourselves to ensuring that the values of education, integrity, and community continue in these halls for another 150 years. We hear this often, but Vineland High School is not just a school. It is embodiment of our community. We are a family that has always come together through good times and bad to support one another in the foundations of our city. Take a look at our annual Thanksgiving football game if you need proof. Nothing brings this town together more than tradition rooted in our high school. Thank you to everyone who has been part of this journey and to all who will carry the legacy forward. Here's to another 150 years full of inspiring excellence, celebrating achievements, and creating lifelong memories. Thank you all for coming and celebrating with us.
Thank you, Ms. Kadaspati. Now I'd like to introduce our mayor, Mr. Anthony Finucci.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get to sing, but Abigail stole my thunder today, so congratulations to her. In all seriousness, though, it's always an honor and pleasure to be here in the school district. Superintendent Yano, President Kadaspati, our distinguished guests here, our senators, our commissioner, and our folks from central office, to the board members that are present today. Dr. Amberth, part of my administration, thank you for being here today as well from the library. It's a little old home week, you know? When I served on the Board of Ed, it was a little different than these days. We had our challenges, but it's nice to see Dr. Mounier in attendance here, who I serve proudly with on the Board of Education with Mr. Medio. We had some interesting challenges. Eugene, I see that you're still at it, so thank goodness that you're still pulling the punches here every now and again. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication that board members put into the school district and into the community. More often than not, they are unsung heroes. Despite our challenges and our disagreements from time to time in my years on the board and even my years as a mayor or as a councilman, you can see where the hard work comes in and truly those that are dedicated to the children in the district. So a big thank you to the Board of Education members for all that you do. I'm honored to be invited here today. When you look at moments like this at 150th anniversary for the high school and the impact that it's had not just here in Vineland but throughout the county and throughout the state and in some parts of the world right now. We have graduates that are all over the place doing incredible things, people that are making us proud. We have men and women that have served in the military and continuing to serve. We have those that have become doctors and lawyers and pretty much any profession you can imagine, including those that are involved with NASA these days as former Navy SEALs that we've had the pleasure in honoring Mario this past year. It's incredible to see the far-reaching effects of the school system. In many cases, the school system doesn't get the credit that it truly deserves. The educational systems here are important in the United States of America. In some respects, we've been lacking, but in so many others, we've been thriving. It's through the dedication of the hard work of the faculty and staff that put in the countless hours that have not just made this building made out of brick and mortar what it is, but it's given it the reputation, it's given it its persona. It has truly given it its passion, and so many people have displayed that and continue to display that, and it makes me very proud as the mayor of the city to see that. Someone once said, how do you define success? Many people throw out a lot of terms when they define success. They see success in finishing an education or something financially, or they've achieved a goal. Those things are the results and the product of success. But true success is the moment when hard work and opportunity intersect. It's the point in which they meet. Each school year that starts is a new opportunity for the students and the staff to work very hard and complete that intersection. I look forward to seeing what this new school year is going to have to continue to honor the 150 years of the legacy that is here in the city of Vineland. I am very proud to play a small role in whatever it is that I can do here to keep enhancing that. And please remember, each and every day we want to support our students and we want to give them the encouragement to move forward. Seeing things at those graduations every single year still gives me chills when I have the opportunity to talk. My son, of which was part of this past graduating class in June. And it was an amazing feeling for me as a father, because despite my son's special needs and challenges he was always included here. This was a very inclusive environment and a very safe and welcoming environment, and I owe that all to the faculty and staff in this building and to the administration in the school district. The board has always fought and have been advocates for children with special needs, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate what you continue to do to recognize our children and help give them the platform to succeed and the platform to shine and also be part of this rich history. Thank you very much. May God bless you and continue to bless the city of Vineland and the school system.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd now like to introduce our County Commissioner, Ms. Lodes.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Commissioner Victoria Lodes, and more importantly, today I am here as an alumna of the class of 1998, a daughter of an alumna from the class of 1975, and a granddaughter of alumni from the class of 1950 and 1952, all of which class rings I wear on my hand right next to each other in a very symbolic moment of pride of what it means to be a Vineland High School graduate. I'm in this room and it's total nostalgia. I've celebrated so many exciting moments for myself, for even my children now at this point in this room, and now we get to add another one today, the 150th anniversary of Vineland High School. And as I think about what that means, I'm reminded of the words that I spoke when I went before the Vineland Board of Education a few months ago regarding the name that is going to be adorning this very building in a few short months. That name is Charles Chicky Asselta. Why was that name chosen? Why did I endorse that that was a great idea? It was because it wasn't about one individual. It was about what the Vineland story is. It was about families coming here for opportunity, being able to be successful, finding a safe and prosperous place to root their children and have generations of their family continue to grow and thrive. There are so many of those stories. That was just one of them. I have many of them. I'm pretty sure most of you in this room have those stories. Those stories all begin right here through the doors of Vineland High School. I think about how far we've come in 150 years from that first little building in that small class. Think about what it means now to graduate from Vineland High School. We have our students have amazing coaches out here that get some of our athletes to major league events, the NFL. It's almost too many to count at this point. You can graduate from Vineland High School with a college degree. Imagine the opportunity and the cost savings to families that are created from that program. The skills and technical training that are available here at Vineland High School, preparing our students for the workforce of today as soon as they graduate. Our newly minted FFA, we haven't had that since the 60s. exposing our newest students to one of the oldest industries that has built Vineland, our agriculture industry. And let's not forget our mascot. In 1957, I believe he started out as Nick the Chick, and he was this tiny little cute yellow chick. And now look, we have the amazing Rowdy Rooster that adorns our firehouse, our football helmets, and is symbolic with what it means to have grit, determination, and hard work that all lead to success here in the city of Vineland. I cannot wait to see what the next 150 years shows and what stories are written in the next 150 years by our graduates and inspired by all of our educators and administration here in Vineland. What an amazing family to be part of that keeps us Vineland strong. On behalf of the Cumberland County Commissioners, Doc, I'd like to call you up here. I have something for you. You're the one and only Doc. Did you bring your bicycle, though? I just want to know. If you don't remember, Doc used to be our principal, and he would ride his bicycle back and forth from one building to another. It was one of my favorite things. Doc, I want to present this to you because it was your idea to create the memorabilia room in the Jerry Berry Conference Center, and I appreciate that. And this is a proclamation from the Cumberland County Board of Commissioners commencing the 150th anniversary of Vineland High School for you to add to your collection. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you, County Commissioner Lodes. I'd now like to introduce Senator Michael Testa.
Victoria, you're absolutely correct. This brings back a lot of nostalgia just being in this building. Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor to stand before each and every one of you today as we celebrate the 150th anniversary of Vineland High School. As a proud alumnus, class of 1994, I am filled with an overwhelming sense of nostalgia, pride, and gratitude for this institution that has shaped so many of us into who we are today. Mr. Mohan, you talked about thinking of a single teacher. I had a really difficult time thinking of just one, and I can tell you that I thought of four distinctly that left an everlasting, indelible fingerprint on my life. Vineland High School, founded in 1870, has a rich history that runs deep through the heart of our community. From its humble beginnings in Plum Street Hall in 1874 to the expansive campus we see here today, this school has been a beacon of education, opportunity, and growth for generations of Vineland residents. And as Mayor Finucci likes to say in that commercial we all see in Vineland, it's always growing season. As we celebrate this monumental milestone, we also celebrate the incredible legacy of our alumni. We are reminded of the trailblazers who walked these halls before us, like civil rights activists, Leo Lane, who fought tirelessly for equality and justice. And of course, we cheer on Kansas City Chiefs running back Isaiah Pacheco, who has taken the values of hard work, perseverance, and determination learned here, right here in these halls of Vineland High School, all the way to the NFL and all the way to 2 Super Bowl rings. What a story he has to the kids that attend Vineland High School each and every day, that they can make it, no matter where they come from, no matter how difficult their beginnings. And these are just a few of the many examples of how Vineland High School has nurtured talent, fostered true leadership, and instilled a sense of community that transcends generations. I mean, think about it. Right here on this stage today, you have 2 of the last 3 state senators representing the 1st legislative district in Senator Asselta and myself. That's pretty neat. I think that's a story that you can make it from Vineland High. One of the things that I like to say is that when I went to Villanova, everybody assumed that you went to a prep school, and that's no offense to my dear friend and practically brother, Mayor Finucci, who went to St. Augustine Prep, but everybody assumed you went to one of the many prep schools, and people would say, "Where'd you go to high school?" And you'd say, "I went to Vineland High," and they'd give you like, "Wow, you went to Vineland? That's really interesting." And I remember how many people were surprised about it and how proud I was. And I call it the Vineland chip because we wear this chip on our shoulder proudly that we went to Vineland High and that we made it. And I did the same thing at law school. I did the same thing at my master's degree, getting my LLM. I went to Vineland High School. And I think about my grandparents, just like Victoria's grandparents, went to Vineland High School. My parents, class of 1967, went to Vineland High School. My brother, class of 1988. My cousins, various different classes. This school has had such an everlasting impact on my family's life. I can't thank this institution, all of the teachers, administrators, for shaping who we are today, not just the town, but my personal family. And we know that Vineland High School is not just about individual accomplishments or about just my family. It is about tradition, about the bonds that we form and the memories we create together. Nowhere is that tradition more evident than in our beloved Thanksgiving Day football rivalry between Vineland and Millville, starting in 1893, and it is one of the oldest public school football rivalries in the country, and certainly the oldest in our state, the Garden State, the great state of New Jersey. This annual showdown, which Vineland currently leads, is more than just a game. It is a symbol of our spirit, our tenacity, and our pride in this great school. Where else on Thanksgiving Day do people expect to see you if they're not a member of your family? Everybody knows they'll probably see you at the game. Every year as the players take the field and the crowd roars with excitement and pride, we are reminded that Vineland High School is more than just a place of learning. It is a community, a family, and a tradition that continues to thrive year after year. As we celebrate 150 years of excellence, let us also look forward to the future with hope and optimism. The world may change, but the values that have been instilled in all of us that have attended Vineland High School, hard work, integrity, a commitment to service, remain a constant in a world that is ever-changing. It is up to us, the alumni, the students, and the entire Vineland community to ensure that these values continue to guide the next 150 years of this great institution. I'm also proud to say that my own daughter, Eva Marie, will be attending here this year. I want to express my deepest gratitude to the teachers, staff, and administrators who have dedicated their lives to educating and mentoring the students of Vineland High School. Your commitment has made all the difference in the lives of so many. Here's to 150 years of Vineland High School and to many more to come. Thank you, and may God bless Vineland High School, all of you, and the United States of America. I do have a joint legislative resolution from myself and my assembly mates, Antoine McClellan and Eric Simonson, that I would like to present so that this can hang somewhere with pride in Vineland. Madam Principal or Mr. Mohan, both of you, I'd like to present this joint legislative resolution to you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator Testa. Last but certainly not least, I'd like to introduce Senator Nick Asselta.
Well, thank you, and good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here and taking part in this celebration, because it truly is a celebration of 150 years of educating students, tens of thousands of students in our city. Let me thank the superintendent and the principal here for developing that concept along with the Vineland School Board. But I think I'm up here to just put a little bit of context on all this. Probably the oldest one up here, but most importantly, I reach back 5 generations. 1873, my great-great-grandparents came here with nothing but a bag of masonry tools via Naples, Italy, settled at 6th and Quince, developed a brickyard, a lumber yard, and a block company that eventually took part in most of the construction in Vineland and most of the schools. The original school was pre-built before we got here, but we did have a hand in the addition. And then after that, we just kept right on down Landis Avenue. Andrew Carnegie, if you all remember that name, commissioned my great-grandfather to build the Vineland Library, which still stands there as a grant to the city of Vineland. So there's so much history that I bring to this and bring to this program today. And just to let everyone know here that history will never be rewritten here. It'll just keep going as a legacy. That's probably what today's all about, remembering who was here, the teachers, the educators, the coaches. It was an endless stream of talented people that came through here that believed in the American dream and the American way of life. I couldn't help but think about somebody brought up that teacher issue. And I can remember one gentleman that really changed my life. I think he was the very first African-American teacher at Vineland High School, Herbert Douglas. And what he taught me in class, he was an athlete himself, and I kind of identified with him, but he taught me the value of the content of one's character. Remember that. He said, you and I are different, but we're not. We're the same. That always stuck with me throughout my career in business and politics, and it helped form me, and I'm sure he did that to so many other students along the way, but when someone brought up who really impacted you here more, it was probably Herbert Douglas. And there was another impact here that in this auditorium was a very impactful thing for me. I was sitting in that seat where Eugene Medio is, because I remember it vividly, when the teacher proctor came down with my grandmother and pulled me out of study hall and sent me home to my parents, who had just been notified that my brother was killed in Vietnam. Now, my brother was part of the first graduating class here in 1965. And he just loved this school, played football, inspired me to play sports, inspired me to move on and do the things I did. But most importantly, that is just an example, as Commissioner Lowe said, of the many families that came through here and came through this school system that went on and do great things. I want to thank the school board for voting to name this school after him. He deserved it. It's hard for me to talk about it, but I think I'm here just showing you how my family appreciates the school system, what it did for us, what this town did for us, and the legacy that now is being honored, putting his name on this school. So once again, thank you for having me. Thank you for doing all you do, the school board members. I was once a school board member here, as Mayor Finucci was. There's nothing you could ask more from a citizen in your community but to serve in a volunteer basis on a school board in any town, strictly voluntarily. But remember, this school created leaders and heroes, and we're going to continue to do that in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Asselta. Now, everyone on stage will be joining myself, and we will be signing our guest book. The guest book will be available to be signed at the Mushroom after we are finished our ceremony, so we will all go sign that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost finished this part of our time together today. But before we leave, we are going to have a bell ringing ceremony at 2 o'clock. What we're going to do is we're going to finish speaking here. We'll have light refreshments. You'll be able to see our current accomplishments, and then you'll see where we have a tiles project that you can become part of the walls of Vineland High School for all eternity. And then there's also extra yearbooks for sale. You'll see Vineland High School through the years, and that will take us to the bell just outside of our weight room, and we will be ringing that. But right before we actually finish this part of our ceremony, I did have one quick thing to say, and it's actually in your program. There's this wonderful quote. "The meaning of life is to plant trees under whose shade you do not expect to sit." And when I think of the founders of our city, who are also the founders of our school system, they had this idea and this dream of greatness. And it wasn't just for their benefit, it was for the future. They never knew us. They knew they were never going to meet us, but that doesn't mean that they never stopped dreaming of us. And they had a dream of us. They knew we were going to be here. They put something in place for us to come to learn from, and to build off of. So how may we make them proud? We continue this legacy over 150 years in the making. We continue the pride that we build coming to our school. And then we continue the history even after we leave here, and we stay members of this wonderful community of Vineland High School. So thank you so much for coming today. We cannot express again how much we appreciate your attendance. So thank you. Don't forget to grab a cookie and some juice, and then you can sign the book, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, and then we have Ms. Giuliani. She's going to speak real quick. Go ahead.
I'd also like to thank you all for coming, and just briefly remind you, we will be having refreshments in the lobby, and then head down and we will be ringing the bell at 2:30. This is the same bell, if you read on the back of your program, this is the same bell that was rung to open Vineland High School 150 years ago when President Grant was there. So please join us. At 2:30, we will be doing refreshments in the lobby and then going down to ring the bell at 2:30. Thank you.